Hi, and welcome to our review. Today we are going to review Cinderella.
The classic Disney animation that everyone knows and loves?
No, the cheap live-action remake.
Oh.
In terms of the plot, I don't want to spoil it.
Spoil it for who? We all know the story.
Oh well, let's remind you the story anyway. We have a nice little country girl whose mother dies of...
I don't know. Poor writing disease?
The father decides to remarry.
But because having no parents is even more dramatic, he dies too.
Yay! Disney! Orphans rule, I guess. But before that, Cinderella asks her father to bring her a branch, which is the last thing she receives from him.
Wait a second. Is it going to be like in the original story, where she plants the branch to her mother's grave and the bird gives her dresses? Which actually makes less sense than the Disney version, but the stepsister get the ice picked at the end of the story?
Nope.
Oh.
Whoa. Grim tales were really grim.
You should read Sleeping Beauty. No. Oh, have we mentioned her name is Ella and we even get a little name origin story?
Which is nice.
Stupid.
Oh yeah? What was her real name in the original movie?
Indiana?
Fine.
That scene is okay. Satisfied?
Let's continue. So they start making her their personal slave, not a family member. And her only friends remain the animals.
Oh yeah, the mice! Where are they? Behind the poorly animated lens?
No, they're the poorly animated lens.
Oh. By the way, where are the dog and the horse?
What and what?
You know, there were a dog and a horse in the original movie. And I just assumed if we have the mice and the big ones called Gus for no other reason than original movie, then we have the cat too.
No.
Wait, then who's gonna drive the carriage and who's gonna be the door boy?
A goose and a lizard.
A goose. And a lizard. Oh look! While we were talking, the actress ran away from the set. Good for her.
Actually, this is the forest scene.
The forest what?
Forest scene. You know the iconic scene when Cinderella meets the prince. And they talk about the stag.
The next scene. The prince is talking about kingdom stuff.
Don't worry, you can literally skip this scene and miss nothing.
You wanna skip it?
It's a 2-hour long movie. Skip it!
Okay, Jesus Christ.
So, they announce the ball. Cinderella doesn't get a dress, so she makes her own. But her stepsisters tear it apart.
And then the fairy godmother comes. Oh my god, what is that?
Oh, it's just Helena Bonham Carter.
Pater noster vie sincerely sanctifice.
Anyway, she makes her wish come true.
Something new? Oh no, please don't. This was my mother's.
But apparently she doesn't want to get rid of the destroyed dress, as she wants to go in it, because it was her mother's.
And so, the fairy godmother makes her wish come true.
Oh, but that's a completely different dress! Was it that hard to make the mother's dress blue from the start?
Shh! Don't worry, she leaves for the ball after 10 minutes.
Could have sworn they were in a hurry.
She gets to the ball.
She receives a pep talk from a lizard.
And she meets the prince again. I think by now, we kind of gave all the story away.
I say we keep going. There's not much left of it anyway.
So she and the prince have a talk until the clock starts banging, announcing midnight.
So, she's gonna move fast. She blabs something to the prince, runs from the garden, gets to the ballroom, runs across the ballroom, runs into the king, has a small chat with him. Then she runs across the hall, at which point the prince catches up with her. Then she runs down the stairs. She has a stare-off with the prince.
At which point the clock starts banging again. To remind her she has to do something, I guess.
She loses her shoe, she gets into the carriage, the guards chase her.
And guess what? The clock starts banging again.
But at least this time, when the clock stops, so does the magic. Everything disappears apart from the glass shoe. And it only took 4 minutes from the original bang to get to midnight.
She gets home. The prince sets out people to look for her.
Although he has seen her face in broad daylight and he knows how she looks like.
Her stepmother finds out Cinderella went to the ball and she tries to blackmail her.
At this point, I just don't care anymore.
Anyhow, the royal servant gets to Cinderella's house. Eventually.
The stepmother locks Cinderella in the attic.
The stepsisters try the shoe. Cinderella starts singing and singing and singing. And the mice try to open the window, so the guards hear her.
I love how she just sings, letting the mice struggle with the window.
The guards hear her, and the stepmother denies her existence.
There's no other maiden in your house?
No.
And has your cat learned to sing?
What? Was that a joke?
At this point in the movie, I don't think I know what a joke is anymore.
And plot twist, the prince is among them.
If that really counts as a plot twist, it has to be the lamest one ever.
Then
they get married and live happily ever after, but not before reminding us to have courage and be kind the 10,000 freaking time!
Have courage and be kind. Have courage, be kind. Simply have courage and be kind.
Be kind.
And have courage.
Courage and kindness.
at least it had character development.
Barely. I don't think I know more about the characters than I knew from the first one.
At least it develops the relationship between Cinderella and the prince.
When they talk about a stag.
At least the mother and Ella talk.
About magic.
At least the prince is shown in more than 2 scenes. Oh, who am I kidding? This movie blows.
You said it, not me. But really, it's awful. The character development is poor, the relationship between the characters are poorly formed, and the plot is as silly as always, but this time you have Helena Bonham Carter narrating the whole thing.
Don't watch this movie. It's a waste of money and time. Mostly time. Now what? I heard they're making a live-action Peter Pan movie.